saw the world from the other side, but it's alright.
Look where the wall once was, and you maybe just see some rubble of it, and you're going to see that oasis again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I tried to use the Mummy movies to alter my mind and the Scorpion King.
Oh, yeah? Well, take your sword and chop him up.
Okay.
Every time you cut, you're purging the crap out, and it goes away permanently. Into the vortex and no return, permanently. So let me know when you're ready, and if you do that, see if you can see the oasis again.
Okay. I think there's a fear of me like seeing something wrong.
No, there's nothing wrong that I, can't handle.
Okay. Okay.
There's nothing I can't handle.
That's right.
And I'm talking to them. So when I was, before I came out with the Woke Folk Festival thing, I met with these people that the one day, and on my way back, I was riding, one of those, motorcycles, but it's like a cross between a motorcycle and a scooter that they drive around here, and it started raining, and and these bikes are for crap in the rain, the tires,
Mm-hmm.
So on my way back home, I ended up behind people who would jam on their brakes for some reason. And so I had to go really, really, slow and just, realize something was up. Because, after the third time, I think something's up. And, so I ended up on this highway, and someone was parked where they shouldn't be parked, which is not unusual here in Thailand. And I'm going around them, and the person slams on their brakes as I'm going around. And I brake, I skid, and I wipe out. To the point where, I hit so hard, I was like that on the street. And some young Thai guy came, and, he stopped and he grabbed my, the shield, my helmet, because I hit that hard that it broke the shield off my helmet. Fortunately, I was wearing a helmet, and I had it wasn't even like it was more than a skin. It's just like, injured my elbow or whatever. And he wanted to know if I wanted an ambulance. I said, no, I'm going to, I'm going to get home on my own. And all the way home, it was something that was trying to throw me into shock. So anyway, I did finally get home, and Ms. A, had come over and was helping out and so on. And the, I know that it was density, attacking me for what they knew was to come. So I was doing this work before, but I really started getting a lot of clients after I did the Woke Folk Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that whole week, there was all this noise going on the street, like around my house and so on.
Little kid marching
Yeah,
around.
little kid marching around
screaming.
crying. The kid that, was usually in the house behind me screaming. Now he's in front of the house screaming, and his father's following him, like, there's something mentally wrong with the kid or something anyway. It was like this house construction going on. There's this crazy neighbor who would get on his hog and just do, I was on the corner.
Figure eights around the house.
Yeah, well, he'd hit the corner where where my house was on the corner, and he'd do his turn, and that noise, that noise. And actually it bugged you at first.
Well, because I've never seen anyone make such a small figure eight.
Yeah.
Just around one house. I
Yeah.
just thought, what kind of crap would do such a freaking thing?
So after that, and the next day, you could hear a pin drop on that street.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid, the noise stopped for a good while. Never got as loud as that again.
Oh, cool.
So you have extra protection. All the ladies are badasses, but she has an understanding of how to hit density in this realm. because she has an interaction with them, and she really doesn't like them. Really doesn't. I mean, nobody likes them, but she really doesn't like them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So even with the holes, opening up, I think she's going to start handling that as well. So it tells you if they're on your case that hard, what is it about you? Think about that. Why so much attention?
My chest started to feel like there was a fire burning in there.
Yeah, let's see. That's a positive fire. So it's burning through. What I'm saying is energetic and it's burning through.
I've been hearing drums in my right ear, and then but like battle drums, like African battle drums, and then like a battle horn. Today when I was on the balcony. No, yeah, it was yesterday, sorry. I had like a slight vision of like these beautiful African women on like these animals that I've never seen before that they use during battle, and they're like standing on top of them, like riding them. And it was like really, really awesome. And then it kind of like stopped.
Positive.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So they want to fight. They got to fight. So as Ms. Oracle also said, there's an event coming. She told us that a couple of days ago. There's an event. And they are part of this event. Also in the ocean, some red glowing orb, huge orb in the bottom of the ocean or something that is part of it as well. There's a number of things going on through here right now. And you're purging because whatever the heck it is that you were, and I'm not going to go into it just yet, when this came down, when you got caught, you have significance. You have significance as a consciousness. You have significance.
Thank you, Chief. I try not to even allow like the idea of getting big-headed, because I'm just grateful that I get to be a student and a client and be a part of this movement.
Well, that's the proper attitude. That is the proper attitude. Because when I tell people, I'm not trying to get them to have a big head or anything. That's why I don't certain people, what I find is it's impressive because they're so damaged that, their head gets blown out of proportion. Their minds are locked into this little box of this realm, and what they think is fame is like, very conscious of the universe. It's not about being famous. It's being part of the universe.
Like your true logic, Chief, the universe is aware of all that is within it. Why do you want more attention?
Yeah, that's literally what it's inspired it. Those individuals who are just so lost and so damaged. The universe is very much aware of what's everything. Because the universe is like the body of the universe. When I talk to you about diet and all of that, it's about you tapping into your whole universe that you're taking it in, and there's no room for density, so it has to go out. As my words come in, there's light coming in with it. Density does not like the light. So it's just funny to tell me, you're going to be a vampire, and you won't be able to stand the light. No, you guys won't be able to stand the light. Sea of lies. So if they write something in the internet, and it comes from some authorities or some scientists are the of yin and yang. So they're going to tell you anything that the system wants you to know. They want you to believe. The fables about the moon being pulled into orbit, that is true. The moon is an artificial satellite that was pulled into orbit, and I'm not the first one that said this. There's part of old stories from Africa also that talk about, they call it the great egg that was pulled into orbit.
Mm.
So the moon is a control mechanism. It's like a large satellite to literally distort the minds of the inhabitants on the planet, so that density can have their way with feeding and whatever else they want to do. That's why so many people they can't seem to get their act together or accept certain things. Or a lot of folks, which I expected anyway when I started really getting real with this, they run away. Some folks have amazing sessions, but they're too afraid to come back because their avatars, like everyone's avatars, have a certain amount of density in order for it to function within the garbage realm that yin and yang created.
Okay.
So as I'm speaking, the left temple is hurting. Ms. A is picking that up, which means, let's see. That's on you. You may not feel it, but that's cool. That's okay. You felt it?
Yeah, I was gonna say on Skype how I'm able to see myself in the little square in the corner of my eye. It keeps like shape shifting into like a witch.
Oh shit.
Also, what is it that's shifting?
Their image, your image.
Yeah.
It shifts into a witch.
Ah shit.
Hi, witch bitch. Oops, I think I squeezed too hard. Yes, this is in a perfect, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
and they said, do not worry about your safety.
Oh, I felt a sharp pain in my spine.
Yes, so they said, do not worry about your safety. You are safe.
It doesn't work. Anything that they throw at you, I go, it's gone. Any curse, it's gone.
Thank you, Chief.
Because they're using enslaved energy. My energy is pure. I dare anyone to challenge me on it. That's why I don't get challenged.
I was also like really looking really hard, like I was searching for sanctuary, what people think of sanctuary, just a safe place. And I was looking everywhere, I thought I might find it, in nature or wherever, but now I realize sanctuary is in the movement and sanctuary is in following the chief. And the safest place to be.
And I'm not an egomaniac, I really, and I've never really been, I've never been an egomaniac. There are things having to do with my past business I was in, where I had high-end clients living up in Woodstock, and that idiot that I was married to would invite these people to the house, and they'd come in to see the house, and literally thought one dude coming to get his kid that my daughter was playing with, get out of his car and look at the house like I was living in the Taj Mahal or something. It was a nice house, but it was, yeah, I thought, well, it's a nice house, But literally, their idea of what I was supposed to be able to afford, even though there's these black folks who are in sports and all this money and other areas, for some reason, they assumed that I was supposed to be some, I don't know, ne'er-do-well. So I think it was one of the women that was a friend was this Italian woman. We were talking about, she was telling him about my clients or whatever, and somehow it got around that I had these major clients in New York City. And she's overnight had people kissing my ass. By Martha Stewart and Time Magazine and This Old House and the number of these other, clients that I had. And I said, I'm really not into people kissing my butt. I said, but it's better than the shit they were doing before. So kiss away. But I don't go recording it. So anyway.
That's why you only give tools to your clients, because people just don't know how to appreciate the intensity when you're giving. It's like, why bite the hand that feeds you?
Yeah, but they're programmed in such a janky way, that they taught to have disrespect, and it goes across the board. Disrespect, men disrespecting women, disrespecting men who tend to be passive, or just their classic disrespecting people who are, melanin. Even melanin people disrespecting people who have melanin. The self-hate thing that goes on in this world is monumental.
Yeah. Your post, hate thyself, was pretty intense to try to make the images.
Yeah, I say put those images together.
I struggled to know which one to use, but it ended up. And then there was someone who was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes because the image in the middle is a young black woman. I'm like, it's not just black people hating themselves for being melanated. Look at all the images. It's every culture hating themselves because they don't have these things.
Never saw the world from the other side, but it's alright.
Whether it's muscles or money or fame or
so-called beauty.
Yeah.
Or big car.
Yeah. Or free time.
Yeah. Yeah, they have to work.
Yeah.
So.
Above the house, even throughout the day, I've been hearing noises of different types of aircrafts that don't sound like planes or helicopters.
Okay, well that's lightning. Sorry, what? That's hold on a second. Jeez.
Huh.
Well, that one furred something up. I think that scared them when you said that. And when I just verified lightnings.
Because we've been hearing some random thudding sounds that aren't helicopters and aren't planes. And also I start empathing immediately, and then when I hear helicopters or fireworks, I don't do anything. But if it's that sound, all of a sudden I'm like.
Yeah, so she's empathing. And what it sounds like at times, it's like if someone takes their bare foot and goes, I don't know if you heard that. It's like, like that.
Yeah, in the sky.
Yeah. And as well as Ms. Oracle, she had seen a ship over the house as well. And so, there's still some things that, she's, learning about, my world. And so she's seen a number. She's a seer. She's a really intense seer. So she's seen, craft over the house, And I think at one point the one was there, still really, really huge, but it was slow. And it had been there for about a day or something or two.
I've been seeing faces everywhere. Miss Orko L had told me like anywhere there's a reflection density can use that to like see you and trigger you. Um, so what I've been kind of practicing is like once I feel something, try to like spot exactly which reflection point that they're using and like energy slapping. So I had a photo shoot recently, and I was going to ask you if you could muscle test to see if I should do it, but I didn't feel anything wrong with doing the photo shoot. But it was, I guess, in a warehouse. It was interesting that as I was containing, um, everything, there'll be moments where the camera will start glitching, so the photo shoot can't happen. I'm like, no, it's gonna happen, and I just kept containing, and stuff will start working. But as we were walking down the stairs that looked very, very dense, out of everyone, it was like as if something pushed me, like it was trying to make me fall down the stairs. So I just kept containing. And then we went downtown LA, which is very infested with like a lot of density and homelessness. And we're taking pictures, and I'm doing good containing. I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit out of my element. Maybe I should have asked Chief first about this, but I'm like, I got his tools. It's okay, I got this. And this guy, he pulls up the to us, and when he gets out, his hands look like they're like kind of positioned like, oh, I'm holding a gun, and I know downtown LA and all that stuff with the robberies and all that stuff all over California. And that was the first moment where I kind of like really shot out fear, but I just wanted to be like stealthy and not tell everyone else and let myself see what exactly he's holding. But he was just holding cards that he handed me like for modeling or whatever, but I just put it on the trash.
Yeah. So even while you're in the middle of the shoot, he was giving you a card.
Yeah.
So yeah, and because you threw it in the trash, the tool's working. Yeah, because you're sincere. That's how, more sincere, more effective.
Okay.
You know. So it's good, that you went ahead and you experimented with the tools that I gave you. Now you know how effective, but you knew they were effective anyway, but to
Yeah.
know how effective they are. And again, it has to do with the sincerity. Practicing it and doing this, it's like, anyway, I digress. But anyhow, so.
Sorry I didn't really get anything paranormal.
No, I